Good morning, traders. TG Watkins here. It is August 27th when I'm recording this. Hope you guys are doing well out there. And all eyes are going to be on NVIDIA today because they have earnings after the close today. So kind of anything goes. I believe NVIDIA has high expectations, or at least everybody out there has high expectations for NVIDIA. So earnings, and yeah, I kind of feel like anything goes. Either they need to report stellar numbers in order for everybody to overcome their really grandiose expectations, and hopefully they don't show that they falter at all. And the other issue is that maybe if they just come in with like good or decent or just as expected numbers, maybe people will sell into it. So this is going to be important. I really don't have too much to say about it because earnings are always kind of a roll of the dice and a gamble for what I kind of look at. And so I think we're just going to have to sit back, wait, and look at what happens here. The other thing I want to let you guys know is that usually you see my social media session here on Wednesdays. We're going to be changing that to Tuesdays, okay? So just a switch, it's the same time, same everything. It's going to go from Wednesdays to Tuesdays. You'll see a post about this and everything else like that. So wanted to dive into that. And then, as far as what's going on, remember, we do have some seasonal weakness. This is just generally an idea, a representation of kind of what we're seeing for the market. And now what we have here is we have August, and we usually get August is coming down. Now we have seen that underneath the surface. Yes, of course, we've seen some weakness out there. For the market, for the indices though, we have seen the markets come down, maybe get, have a couple days down, but then they bounce right back. And so for the most part, we're actually seeing that perhaps the August seasonal weakness is mostly sideways, at least on the top of the surface. Below the surface, we've seen stuff come down. We have seen a lot of things move up, okay? Ever since Jerome Powell came out last week during the Jackson Hole and said that that we're looking at maybe some things have changed and maybe a time for some adjustments, and that basically is decoded as rate cuts. The market's been kind of buoyed, so we're looking at that, and maybe this market's just so strong that it says, look, we understand we've got some weakness coming up, but instead of going down, we're going to go sideways. The real question is, we're going to have to see what September is, because here it is, August 27th. We got a few more days of August. I think the market has fared pretty darn well, considering the seasonality of this, and we'll just have to see what September brings. To kind of give you a representation of that, if you look at FNGS or FNGU, this is the ETF for the FANG stocks. I mean, just look at this. We have not seen much of anything out of this for the last several weeks. And I think, again, that is kind of indicative of what's going on with either the seasonality or the market or anything else like that. All right, so let me kind of dive into a few more things that we're interested in. I did want to let you guys know also we are running a special here for Labor Day coming up. The code is going to be Labor25, and what we're going to be putting up, at least for my section, is the 2025 Moxie Indicator method. Basically, this is the full package of you get the indicator, you get the classes that I teach, you're going to learn how to use the Moxie Indicator and how I apply this to trading and everything else that we use with this. So I think this is going to be a great package. We've had some really, really great success with it. A lot of people have said that they've enjoyed it. And if you guys want to look here, you can come down and you can actually see a few things that are included in this. So you get the class, and you get the Moxie Indicator, which is at the bottom of my screen. This is what you guys normally see. This is how I actually trade. This is the proprietary momentum-based tool that I've been using for years that I developed. And then as a bonus, if you guys sign up for the elite version, we're going to be including the leverage ETF session and the zero DT session. The leverage ETF, you guys know, I made over 2,000%, which turned $38,000 into, I think it was $640,000 in 30 days by trading SOXL, which is a leveraged ETF. And as you guys know, that there's just an absolute plethora of leverage ETFs that are coming out right now, and there are some signals about those things. So I really enjoy trading them, and if you guys like to trade stock instead of options, this is a great way to do that and get some leverage out of it. And then also zero DT. I think I have found a pretty unique way of looking at options and then looking at them through zero DT lens. And I'll tell you, me studying this on my own and teaching myself how to do this has actually helped me trade options in general for my swing trading account and just longer term stuff. So I think these two combined are really, really good things to help you understand the market and how to get better at trading. So I wanted to put that out there. Remember, we have this code running for well, until September 3rd, and remember, it's going to be Labor 25, 20% off code. So guys, go check that out. All right. If we come over here and we continue to look at the market and kind of see what's going on, remember NVIDIA, all eyes are on that. And if we look at something like SOXL or SMH, these are the ETFs of the semiconductors. And this is where I'm kind of wondering if the market's going to be a little bit stronger than expected. I was looking for the semiconductors to pull back just below their daily 50s. And really, if you look at SOXL, all we've done is held the daily 50. That's actually pretty impressive. And maybe the overbought condition, I mean, because look at this. This was a really, really big move after the whole tariff tantrum situation. And maybe instead of them really pulling back too hard, maybe price is actually just kind of going sideways. Now again, we always have the unknown of NVIDIA today, and we have the unknown of what the seasonal weakness might be for September. Now again, kind of the push-pull that we might have for the market is that last week Jerome Powell said, probably he hinted at the idea of rate cuts coming, and then pretty much in September we are expecting a rate cut. Now what we also don't know is that going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news type situation? Maybe since everybody's expecting it and we get it, okay, maybe they'll actually sell into all the unexpecting people who hear, oh, rate cuts, and think that the market's going to go up, but actually it goes down because, well, we already knew that and people sold into it. You always have to think that the market is kind of a perverse place and likes to make as many people wrong as possible. So do just keep in mind that we are not quite sure. The market is very sideways right now, and we don't know if this sideways is going to continue to peel off to the downside or if this is actually going to build strength and go higher. If we look at some other tickers, we can look at AMD. AMD also has had, let me kind of zoom out here. AMD has also had a really, really great move over, since the tariff tantrums. I mean, this is absolutely impressive. And what you can see here is that look where it went, right back into its previous high. Okay, so it makes a lot of sense that it ran up there, ran into some resistance and whatnot. And I think it just got a little too overbought. This is a heck of a move. I mean, this is really very impressive. And now it's right back into here. So just natural resistance. It makes a lot of sense that this is going to chill out. And timing wise, we got seasonality, we got NVIDIA that's kind of resting, we got this the semiconductors that are resting. And so we're just going to have to give this thing some time. And that's why I'm saying we are going to have to be waiting and seeing what NVIDIA reports, and that'll probably have some effects on AMD. But even if the report comes out and they pop up a little bit, I'm still not entirely sure that this thing is going to be ready to really go. Because if we look at the Moxie Indicator here, and this is why with the sale that we're having this week, if you guys want to pick up the Moxie Indicator, and if you guys already have the indicator but don't have the class or want to see what the 0DT stuff is or the leverage ETF stuff is, just reach out to simplertrading.com, talk to our customer support, and they'll work it out so that they don't say anything extra that you don't need if you already have the indicator. But what I'm looking at is even if AMD popped up like this, the Moxie Indicator is telling me that this thing is a ways away from being ready to go. We really need the Moxie Indicator to be at or crossing over 0 in order for price to really get going. Okay, so this is telling me that I think that we should still expect some noise even if NVIDIA moves up, even if AMD moves up with NVIDIA. I think it would be maybe a great first move, and then we'll have to see if it can actually get some traction from there. So I wouldn't worry too much about FOMO if you feel like you're going to miss out on something and this jumped up like that. All right, the other thing that we have kind of come up now, Lucid has not been talked about too much recently, other than when they had the news that came out with them getting boosted with the partnership that they have with Uber, which I still think is pretty amazing. They did take that news and they sold right into it. Okay, now I have a longer term position. Of course, yeah, sure, maybe it would have been nice to cash in a little bit through here. We did see the setup, and actually I added to it right there, and we got that move. I didn't know if they were going to sell into it this hard, but they did. Okay, so be it. But what I'm starting to see here is now we have price down and we have the Moxie Indicator up. We have some positive divergence that's coming into this. Plus $2 has really proven to be a very strong level. So I am very encouraged by that. Also, since this is a longer term position of mine, I really don't care about this. This is totally fine. In fact, we're really just kind of back down to where we were before. So yeah, no big deal. And the interesting thing that's going to be coming up with this is that they have a reverse split, a 1 to 10 reverse split. Now, you don't see this too often, and usually when you do see this, it is accompanied by Well, not great stocks. The whole point of a reverse split usually is that garbage stocks are trying to get out of garbage range. I mean, here we are at $2. And they do this so, number one, they don't get delisted, and number two, they just try to make it as a way to keep themselves buoyant so that they don't have problems. And so, yes, usually you see this with really bad garbage kind of stocks, and so they kind of come together. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me, like, what does this mean for Lucid, and is this bad? And maybe this is a little bit of my opinion, but I think what's happening here, I am a fan of Lucid. I have studied them a lot. I look at them a lot. Um, I am a fan of just Lucid in general. Their manufacturing is impressive. Their engineering is mightily impressive. They have the way that they actually design their cars with as much space, interior space, and packaging is unmatched. Even Tesla can't match this. And then they are the fastest cars out there, and this is also impressive. They've also gotten some awards and some accomplishments as far as the most amount of miles driven on a single charge. Okay, so their engineering is really fantastic. So I think that they've got something here. They are still a new company. They're working on rolling out more product line, more cars, and I think that they are up and coming. And I think that the idea about the reverse split is basically to allow investors to get into them. Think about it, like hedge funds and institutions are not allowed to buy penny stocks. They can't buy stocks that are $2. They need stuff that is at least over $5 and probably closer to $10, over $10. And so this reverse split will get them up to $20, $20 to $30, something in that range. And so that at least makes it from a technical standpoint that they are now open, their doors are now open to larger investors. And I think that the company is there. I think the manufacturing, I think the engineering, and I think the products are there, but the stock is not there. And I think that is why they need to do the 10 to 1, 1 to 10 reverse split, is just to make it more appetizing and to get past some of the rules that institutions can't buy stocks that are too cheap. So we will see if this happens, if it works. Nothing to really report right now. Again, long-term play. I like that there is a floor here, and basically we're just going to have to see if sometime in the relatively near future if this can hold again, and if they can keep getting more news that helps boost this up. So just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a report on that one. Now, also, one of the other names that has done well for us is RR, and look at it, it continues to push today. This is fantastic. I have been watching this ticker for quite some time. Yeah, great move. I'll have to see how much this thing is today. Really solid move. Look at the amount of volume that is coming into this thing. As I said, I've been watching this thing for quite some time, and I was aware of this move right here where it got over the moving average and then pulled back into it. I was waiting for a little bit of a signal because, this thing's kind of chopped around for a little bit, and I actually traded it back here and didn't really go anyplace. But then when I saw on, I think it was Monday, we had a very nice move that basically broke out from here, and you can see there was also massive volume that came into this. Didn't quite know what was going on, but I said, this looks fantastic, and I think we should just jump onto it. And we got it at $2.40, and yesterday it got up to about 30%. I think it closed about 30% right up there, and today it keeps going. Look at that. We're up 48% in 2 days on this particular move. Fan-freaking-tastic. This is the kind of stuff that I love to trade. This is the season of small caps. Lower interest rates is great for small caps. Plus, everything that we're going with robots and AI and everything else like this, RR has been well positioned to take advantage of this, and I'm happy that this thing is up even further. So yeah, we're up a nice almost 50% on this thing. If you guys are missing out on trades like this, you got to come into the Moxie room. That's what we're running these codes for. So come on in. We're having a great time. $7 trial. You guys can come in, figure it out, and see how we're having these kind of successes out there. I mean, this is great. Now, as a little bit of a sympathy trade, there is SERV. And I think this one, I've been watching this one kind of set up, kind of waiting for it. And I saw this one, start to wiggle the other day. And sure enough, as you can see, it's starting to have a good move too as well. So a little bit of a laggard, but there's got some volume and it's starting to move too. So another name to kind of keep an eye on, but we sure got the winner. We got the winner with RR at 50% in 2 days. Great move. Now I don't believe RR has options, so we just bought a bunch of stock on that thing. And again, pretty happy about that. So guys, remember, I'm going to be signing off here. Remember, number one, that the social media session is going to move from Wednesdays to Tuesdays, same time, and that we are running a Labor Day special out here. It's going to be for the Moxie Indicator method and everything that's involved with it. come over here. You can check it out at simplertrading.com/Moxie if you want to look at more of what I do. And then you can come into the Moxie trading room, which is where we put out these trades, and we get things like RR, and we get some really good stuff in there. And we'll see if things like Lucid can start to work out sometime in the future. Again, long-term trade on that one. All right, you guys have a great day, and I will see you next week. Take care.